Russian Federation is one of the strongest nations on the world stage. Russian Armed Forces is a military organization with several branches, which are commanded by the Russian President and the Supreme Commander-in-Chief, Vladimir Putin. Russia has a population of 141.6 million people who participate in the armed forces to create one of the largest and most advanced militaries in the world. Let's have a detailed look at the Russian military. Manpower. Russian professional soldiers and conscripted military personnel make up the manpower of the Russian army. Russian Federation has a total number of 3,570,000 military personnel in its military ranks. 1,320,000 of these personnel are actively on duty, while 2 million of them are reserve. There are also 250,000 paramilitary personnel in the Russian military. All the personnel in the army serve in different roles in all the different branches of the Russian armed forces. Land forces. Russian ground forces conduct defensive and offensive military operations around the borders of the West Russian land, whose borders go all the way from Norway to North Korea. 550,000 personnel serve in the Russian ground forces as the manpower of the ground force. In the ground forces inventory, there are 14,777 tanks in stock, most of which are the T-series of main battle tanks, such as the most recent T-90 MBT. Also in the ground forces inventory are 161,382 armored vehicles, 6,208 self-propelled artilleries, 8,356 stout artilleries, and 3,065 multiple launch rocket systems, also known as rocket artillery. Air Forces. Russian Air Forces secure air superiority for the Russian Armed Forces in operations they carry out from their air bases. In all areas of the Air Force, 165,000 personnel are on duty. Sukhoi Su-57 and Mikoyan MiG-35 fighter jets are the most advanced multi-role aircraft operating in the Russian Air Force, which has 4,255 assets in total. Along with the 809 fighter jets, there are 730 attack aircraft, 453 transport aircraft, 552 trainer aircraft, 145 special mission aircraft, 19 tankers, 1,547 helicopters, and 559 attack helicopters in the Russian Air Force inventory. Navy. From the Baltic Sea in the west to the Bering Sea in the east, the Russian Navy's operational capacity makes it an extensive branch of the Russian Armed Forces. 160,000 personnel serve the Russian Navy in all fields of the military order. Admiral Kuznetsov aircraft carrier, the one and only aircraft carrier of the Russian Navy, is the flagship of the sea branch of the Russian Army. Admiral Kuznetsov is accompanied by 14 destroyers, 12 frigates, 83 corvettes, 65 submarines, 122 patrol vessels, and 47 mine warfare ships in its expeditions. As an addition to the military units and operational capabilities, the Russian Armed Forces have a defense budget of 109 billion USD, which is the third highest military spending in the world. And finally, when it comes to nuclear warfare, Russia has a total amount of 6,257 nuclear weapons in its possession, 1,458 of them being active. The United States is a giant military superpower on the world stage. All of the branches of the American Army are managed by the US President and Commander-in-Chief Joe Biden from the White House in the capital Washington, D.C. The United States of America has a population of 331.9 million people and arguably the greatest military strength in the world. Let's have a detailed look at the US military. Manpower. American citizens from all over the country take up arms and join the various branches of the army to serve their nation. The United States has a total number of 2,127,500 military personnel in its ranks. 1,328,500 of these personnel are actively on duty, while 799,500 of them are reserve. All the personnel in the army serve in different roles in all the different branches of the US military. Land forces. United States Army carries out extensive ground operations around the globe. 1,403,200 personnel serve in the Army as the manpower of the ground force. In the US Army inventory, there are 4,657 tanks in stock, most of which are the advanced M1 Abrams main battle tanks. Also in the Army inventory are 360,069 armored vehicles, 1,595 self-propelled artilleries, 1,267 tail artilleries, and 694 multiple launch rocket systems, also known as rocket artillery. Air Forces. United States Air Force has bases all around the world from which they control the battlefield from the skies. In all areas of the Air Force, 701,319 personnel are on duty. Most of the US Air Force inventory is made of the classic and convenient F-16 Fighting Falcon jets and the modern enhanced F-35 Lightning II jets among the total amount of 13,209 aircraft. There are 1,854 fighter jets, 896 attack aircraft, 957 transport aircraft, 2,648 trainer aircraft, 695 special mission aircraft, 606 tankers, 5,737 helicopters, and 1,000 attack helicopters. Navy. The US Navy sails the oceans with its versatile fleets and supports the US military from the sea surface. 667,108 personnel serve the United States Navy in all fields of the military order. There is a total number of 12 Gerald R. Ford and Nimitz-class aircraft carriers in the US Navy, which is by far the largest number of aircraft carriers in the world. They are accompanied by 9 helicopter carriers, 75 destroyers, 23 corvettes, 64 submarines, 5 patrol vessels, and 8 mine warfare aircraft. As in addition to the military units and operational capabilities, the United States has a defense budget of $831,781 million, which is the highest military spending in the world. And finally, when it comes to nuclear warfare, the United States has a total amount of 6,257 nuclear weapons in its possession, 1,458 of them being active. This is the end of our video. If you enjoyed this kind of military content, don't forget to subscribe to VSB Defense. See you in the next video.